Our mission at Catalyst is to improve the longevity and vitality of 7,000 people in Sault Ste. Marie. And in our last video, I showed you the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum developed by Greg Glassman as a single measure of health. And I also explained how that correlated to vitality, the happiness, energy, and excitement to live to a long age. Now, there are really 8 variables that determine your long-term health outlook here. Some of these are things that you can't change. Some of these are things that you can alter, and some of these are things that you can dramatically change. And so some of these are beyond the scope of my practice at Catalyst, but they are still things that you can optimize through some of the things that we do at Catalyst. So the first variable, and I've listed these in order of your ability to alter them. The 8 variables that control where you fall in the spectrum of health are first genes. You cannot control your genetic makeup. You can influence the genetic makeup of your children and your future generations through some of these other things on the list, but you got what you were born with, basically. The second is disease. No matter how hard we work at these controllable factors, you will not be impervious. You will not be bulletproof forever. You can still contract a virus. You can still contract a bloodborne illness by accident. You can be careful about those things, absolutely, and you can take measures to protect yourself from doing that. You can use science like vaccines. Where applicable, you can avoid contact with people who are sick. You can wash your hands, right? You can take measures, but ultimately, if you contract a disease, you will not be automatically more immune. You will have better ways of fighting off that disease. You will probably bounce back faster, and you might be a little bit more resistant to contracting the disease, depending on the disease, by working on these other controllables, but you are not immune from all disease. You could even be born with disease. Accidents is a controllable variable, and now we're starting to get more into the things that you can control. Look, you can be careful, but you can't control everybody else. And so the best advice that I got when I was learning to drive a car was, hey, the best thing that you can do is to wear your seatbelt and drive defensively, because you can't control everybody else. You can only control your vehicle. And sometimes road conditions can even make those things uncontrollable. Like maybe there's a patch of ice and you're driving sensibly and defensively. However, you hit the ice and you get in an accident. Right? So while accidents can largely be mitigated, they can't be completely controlled. Hormones too. So obviously you're born with the hormones that you have, and there is a strong genetic influence in the way that your hormones behave. However, a lot of your lifestyle choices, these controllables, will influence the effect of your hormones on your body. So for example, if we're talking about insulin, which has a major role to play in whether you'll develop a comorbidity like type 2 diabetes later, we want to have insulin as controlled as possible. Now, there are various ways that we can control insulin, but they're mostly concerned with how much you sleep, what you eat, how much you move, and how you manage cortisol or stress. So we want to keep your insulin levels, as an example, in this tight band. Every time you eat, you have this short period, and then your body secretes insulin to help you digest the food. And so your insulin level goes up. And then over time, your insulin level will drop and you'll feel hungry again. Okay, and you want to keep this in a tight band. The problem is that in our modern North American diet, at least, we have this effect on insulin. We have these sharp spikes and then these deep troughs that gradually, over time, develop an insulin insensitivity, which is type 2 diabetes. You are starving, so you eat a donut. Your insulin spikes. And then as that blood sugar is pushed into your muscle, you have this big insulin drop, and you call that low blood sugar, right? And we're all familiar with that. So you eat something to bring your blood sugar up quick. Cookies. Boom, insulin spikes again. And over time, you develop this insensitivity to insulin that causes a major comorbidity. So while hormones aren't necessarily under your full control, and not all hormones are under the same degree of control, you can certainly influence what effect they have on your body. Now we get into the things that are very controllable. Your sleep, what you eat, what you move, and how you manage. And these things are so important and so key to what we do at Catalyst that I'm going to dedicate a separate video to each one of sleep, eat, move, and manage. So here's what I want you to notice. While these things at the top are less controllable, they are all influenced by these four things. These are the levers that we can really pull that will have direct and profound impact on your health by moving you from left to right on the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. They are also the things that will improve vitality over time. These are the things that give you energy, that give you self-sufficiency, that give you independence, and that give you happiness. So these are the things that we're going to focus on in the next few videos, and I'm going to tell you exactly what we do to use these to influence these and move you here soon.